The news, good evening. The COVID-19 situation in the country is still the same. The Public Health Commissioner, Dr. Jude Gédéon, says 9 COVID-19 patients in the isolation center at the Family Hospital at Ile Perseverance are well and showing no symptoms. However, they still have not been able to eliminate the virus in their bodies. He says that the Beauvalombe is the only quarantine facility with quarantine patients, 70 in total, and that all patients who were in home quarantine have been discharged. He says, however, the coming days are critical, as it is now that people who have been exposed to the latest case, the 26-year-old man who tested positive for the virus from an unknown source, will be showing symptoms. Therefore, it is very likely that in the coming days, new cases of COVID-19 related to the latest case may be picked up in the country. This year, Christians observed Good Friday services at home. The Way of the Cross and devotion services from both the Catholic and Anglican churches were broadcast on radio and television. Fervent Catholic believers have expressed sadness at not being able to physically participate in the Way of the Cross due to the COVID-19 situation in the country. But the Anglican Bishop, James Wong, has said churches have come to realize that they need to adapt to new ways, for example, the social media, to reach out to the people to preach the word of God. And in relation with the COVID-19 situation, the Financial Assistance for Job Retention Committee has confirmed that it will continue to accept submissions of physical or hard copy applications forms and supporting documents throughout the next 3 weeks. The chairperson of the committee, the Secretary of State for Finance, Patrick Payet, says that after assessing the feedback from applicants over the past days, they have decided to continue accepting physical documents in sealed envelopes. The committee had made a decision to limit new applications to electronic submissions, but after the high volume of hard copy applications received on Wednesday, a total of over 1,200, and feedback that many of the applicants have limited access to technology, the committee changed its decision. Application forms and supporting documents can be dropped off in sealed envelopes outside Liberty House in Victoria and at all district administration offices during working hours. However, the committee is still encouraging applicants to submit applications electronically wherever possible. The Agency for Social Protection says that since the 1st till the 9th of this month, they have received 752 new applications for welfare assistance compared to a little more than 1,500 for the year 2019. This is putting enormous pressure on the resources of the agency, even though it has received an increase from the amended budget of 2020. The social welfare assistance has received an increase of 30 million rupees, 12 million rupees for the daycare assistance, and 10 million for URS. The CEO of the agency, Marcus Simeon, says that this increase shows how far so many businesses and jobs are linked with the tourism sector. Clients who are benefiting under the dedicated fund, students who are supposed to join the My First Job and skill development programs have already been identified, and the agency has already planned out how they will assist the said groups.
Welfare
the
assistance.
social Excuse us for this mistake. The Social Protection Agency has announced that it will make provisions for home carers to get the necessary documents for them to travel to and from work now that they are being categorized as an essential services. This measure has been taken since some carers yesterday complained that they had difficulty to move about. The agency is also preparing for the disbursement of 1,500 rupees allowance that will be included in the home carer salary for the next 3 months. The announcement was made by the Chief Executive Officer of the agency, Marcus Simeo, during an interview with the press yesterday.
Welfare assistance is the one designed to target vulnerable families, low-income families. So whenever there's an impact in the economy that affects income, for example, in 2008 and now again in 2020, following in relation to COVID-19, we see the sharp rises. And this one is, I've never seen something as sharp as this one now. Just the additional that will go under this program, under the same program, is 30 million. So that's nearly 90-80% of the whole budget for the year. And we are trying our best. We need to do our best with that money to ensure that it goes at least to the end of the year, because we are conscious that this is hard-earned money that the country can do without, and we need to ensure that they are spent wisely and go and benefit people who really deserve it.
We apologize for this mistake. This should have been with the welfare assistance that people are applying to the Social Protection Agency for. And in regards to the COVID-19 situation in the region, the number of deaths in Mauritius rose to 9 this Friday. 2 patients with COVID-19 died within hours of each other. The first confirmed death was a homeless person. The other victim was a businessman who was to be flown to Australia later today. Today, tests were done on 300 people. 4 new cases were registered, bringing the total of cases registered in Mauritius to 318. 23 people have recovered so far, according to the latest press conference from Mauritius. There are now 286 active cases. Late last night, the Mauritian Government Information Service announced that all members of the high-level committee on COVID-19, chaired by the Prime Minister, and those of the National Communication Committee were self-isolating. Several members of the Mauritian Ministry of Health have tested positive for the coronavirus. Réunion Island has 376 cases of COVID-19 since the start of the epidemic, and there was a slight increase in the daily assessment, with 14 cases announced. There have been 191 confirmed cases to date in Mayotte, and this includes 41 health professionals. And with this, we end this news summary. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant evening.